this contemporary of Imam Bukhari had asked the Messenger of Allah when he saw him in a dream. He said, what are you waiting for, Messenger of Allah? He said, I'm waiting for Imam Bukhari. We waiting to meet this man who served the sunnah, who served the deen. He wanted to meet him because he served Islam. He lived a life in service to this deen, and following this deen, and practicing this deen, and loving this deen, and imitating this religion, calling to it an example and with their tongues, spending on it, sacrificing for it, dying upon it. So same thing can happen for you, for Anas, same thing happened for you, what happened for them companions. Because it happened for Bukhari and he never met the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Same thing with Sheikh al-Albani, a more contemporary example. A woman called Abu al-Albani and told him about a dream that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam praised al-Albani to this woman in her dream. Same thing can be for you, Ya Abdullah. But you got to start raising your ambition for your religion. You have to raise your desire to get this thing, to live this thing, to die upon this thing. Because if you don't, and you have low ambition, you ain't going to get nowhere. You're going to lose your children to mediocrity. And that mediocrity is being like these people who have no good for us. They don't want no good for you. They want you to be like them and go to hell. Whether they know it or they don't know it. And so you got to enliven yourself. You got to wake yourself up. Put that fire on your butt, man. You got to put the pins and bells on your chair and sit on that joint when that iman is weak. Trying to be like those companions. And this is where our success at. For Anas ibn Malik radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and we end with this. Anas ibn Malik al-Ansaari was a person who Allah tabarak wa ta'ala asbaghahu alayhi min khayr, that Allah perfected for Anas in his life goodness. Lived a life of goodness. All you can say about this man is good because of this high ambition he lived. That when he loved the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam so much, and he desired, he couldn't wait to meet him. Even though it was 80-something years, that desire stayed strong in Anas after the death of the Prophet. Still wanting the Messenger of Allah. Rather, he kept some things and possessions of the Prophet. That when Anas ibn Malik was sick, and he was at the deathbed, dying, he said to his family, Laqinuni la ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah. Make me say la ilaha illallah. Remind me to say la ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah. ثم ذل يقولها حتى مات. Then he continued to say that until he died. These people love this religion, brother. Us, Allahu Akbar, we something different. Allah help us, man. We can't even get up and get to the masjid. You think these people had that problem? Kalla. So Anas loved the Messenger so much. The last bequeath that he requested from his family is that he used to own a little stick that belonged to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was a small stick that the Prophet used to have. And Anas kept it with him all them years. 80-something years after the death of the Prophet. Because he died 80-something years after the Prophet. He kept this stick and he advised his family that when they bury him, that they place that stick with him in his grave. So, because he wanted to give it to the Prophet Yawm al-Qiyamah. So they buried Anas, and they placed between his two arms and under his clothing that they would bury him in the stick. So we say, Hani'an ya Anas ibn Malik al-Ansaari ala ma asbaghahu Allahu alayhi min khayr. That we say, glad tidings for you, O Anas ibn Malik, upon that which Allah perfected for him of goodness. For verily he lived a life under the bosom of the greatest messengers of Allah Azza wa Jal, under the bosom for him for 10 complete years. And he was the third of the three companions who narrated the most hadiths of the Prophet, and those who preceded him was Abu Hurairah and Abdullah ibn Umar. Jazahullahu huwa wa ummahu al-Ghumaysa an al-Islam wal-Muslimin khayra jaza. Ameen. May Allah reward him and his mother Ghumaysa from this religion and from the Muslims with the best reward. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم. If there's any questions تفضلوا مشكورين related to the subject, of course.